I was blacklisted. I knew I was blacklisted.
Anthony Barberan, a fired former Eastchester police officer, says he felt a sense of déjà vu when he saw the documentary Crime and Punishment. It highlighted my I-Team interviews with minority NYPD cops who claimed they were pressured to meet illegal ticket quotas.
I think I was fired because I was blowing the whistle on what was going on there. I was always bringing up ticket quotas.
Eastchester, along with New York City, denies quotas have ever existed.
I am Leroy Truth for Leroy Truth Investigations with breaking news. A whistleblower in the Eastchester, New York Police Department came forward about ticket quotas, the illegal ticket quotas that him and others were supposed to be doing. And what does he get as his reward for having the courage to come forward and do and say the right thing? He is fired. And his family is investigated. And they're looking for any dirt they can, government, mayor, whoever it was, chief of police, to get dirt on this gentleman, Anthony Barberan, and his family so they can destroy his credibility and his and their lives. And if you are a police officer, I have numerous police officers contacting me now throughout the country. I will absolutely keep your name and any identifying information confidential. And I commend all the police officers who have reached out to me. And it takes a lot of courage. And I, in journalistic integrity, will absolutely protect my sources. But we need good police officers, the men and women who are courageous, to come forward. And I will uncover and expose the corruption and retaliation in your police departments. And I appreciate you personally. Watch this story, and it will make your blood boil.
I was blacklisted. I knew I was blacklisted.
Anthony Barberan, a fired former Eastchester police officer, says he felt a sense of déjà vu when he saw the documentary Crime and Punishment. It highlighted my I-Team interviews with minority NYPD cops who claimed they were pressured to meet illegal ticket quotas.
I think I was fired because I was blowing the whistle on what was going on there. I was always bringing up ticket quotas.
Eastchester, along with New York City, denies quotas have ever existed.
Hold on there, ladies and gentlemen. Police officers have been saying this for decades. Quotas don't exist. And there's all kinds of ways they can get out of the whole, well, we don't actually have quotas per se. But underneath the surface, and for all of the police officers watching this, and there are some good police officers that I have spoken with recently in some different agencies throughout the country who have been reporting to me of malfeasance, corruption, in various places, West Coast, Middle America, Northwest. And this is an example of what happens to a police officer who does the right thing. And one thing I've said many times, ladies and gentlemen, is what do you call a good cop? Unemployed.
But Barberan, a Hispanic officer in a largely white police force, now embroiled in a contentious federal discrimination lawsuit against the town, says he has documented proof.
You were expected to come in with at least, 15 to 20 tickets per month. This is what we'd have to do to show why we didn't produce tickets. At this point, numbers don't lie.
He has texts like this one where he complained about meeting numbers. Barberan says he was sent for remedial training, but maintains the scrutiny didn't let up, even after he filed an EEOC complaint. He was accused of misconduct during an arrest and, after an internal disciplinary hearing, fired for lying under oath.
And so often, the police departments, or the mayors, or both, the police chiefs, they will play the regular government playbook, which I'm personally experiencing in the village of Cold Spring, New York, which is to vilify the messenger and ignore the message. And in this case, not only was he vilified, his family, his father-in-law, which you're going to find out now.
Felt like I was retaliated against, that there was an agenda to get me out.
The county attorney told us Barberan was not targeted or terminated for being Hispanic, that an independent hearing examiner recommended termination, finding that his lies were manufactured to cover up his incompetence, unprofessionalism, and most importantly, his unconstitutional actions.
I signed this one right here, and you can see the difference.
Barberan countered by showing us internal police reports where he claims his signature was forged and says the town's vendetta went beyond him.
You realize how serious that is, of course. It appears his signature was forged. Who has been charged with that criminality on trying to frame him, to attempt to vilify him, to attempt to destroy his credibility, because he is one of the brave men, and they exist in the police departments, brave men and brave women, but the culture in the police departments does not allow a good cop to come forward. And again, it goes with the foundation. What do you call a good cop? Unemployed. Or what are you going to call a good cop? Demoted, retaliated against internally. And I just did a story on Union City, New Jersey. And there was a police officer in my interaction named Detective Haber. And in my interaction, he was exemplary in protecting my constitutional rights. And what did he get as reward from Mayor Brian Stack, someone that I am investigating as we speak? Huge allegations of corruption there for a long, long time. What did Detective Haber get for being an exemplary officer and telling the people when I was in Union City to spread the word that I have a right to record in the city of Union City Town Hall? He said, I can't keep coming up here. What does he get? He gets retaliated. He gets a garbage schedule within, from what I understand, 12 hours of my video posting. Mayor Brian Stack didn't like that. And he made sure he's got to put him in his place. He's getting too big for his britches. How dare him honor his constitutional oath with the public?
Retaliate not only against you, but your family. They'll make your life, a living hell.
His stepfather, Kenneth Simonetti, a longtime Eastchester firefighter, spoke out in public meetings after Barberan's firing, claiming a police witch hunt.
I don't play games, and I don't cause any trouble. But this is something that's affecting my family life, his family life.
Documents we obtained showed the then police chief requested an investigation into Simonetti's by the fire department for possible abuse of sick time. The town spent $23,000 of taxpayer money for a private investigator who followed Simonetti's, even taking surveillance pictures of his wife and her daughter.
Can you believe this? Retaliation. This is so blatantly clear. And it happened in Eastchester, New York. It happens all over the country. And evil will continue to happen when good men and good women do nothing. I commend this former police officer, Anthony Barberan. We need to support people like him profoundly and make sure that the people who retaliated against him are found, discovered, outed, and criminally charged. And charged to the full letter of the law and found guilty if they, in fact, did those things by a jury of their peers.
That's just outright disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful.
Simonetti says the case never resulted in charges. He retired in August, now more vocal than ever.
They need to be held accountable. You can't be making false accusations against people.
And Barberan is also not going quietly, inspired by NYPD Lieutenant Edwin Raymond, who recently retired early to work on nationwide police reform. They believe outside oversight is needed to protect whistleblower officers.
All over.
Absolutely. You need outside oversight, not connected with the police department, for actual police reform. And it has to have teeth where charges can be filed, and police officers and mayors, police chiefs can be arrested who do any type of retaliation like this. Disgusting.
The county, the New York City, all I'm seeing is officers starting to speak up about how they're being targeted in different ways.
Several depositions of current and former Eastchester police officers have already been taken in connection with Barberan's lawsuit. The town now expected to file a motion seeking to have the lawsuit dismissed. Barberan hoping to take his case to trial. From Eastchester, Sarah Wallace, News 4 New York.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A brave man He comes forward. He does and says the right things to expose the illegal ticket quotas, and his reward, fired. His father-in-law investigated, trying to find some dirt to destroy the credibility. The government does it basically with anyone, including yours truly here, in regards to Mayor Kathleen Foley and the Village Board of Trustees. Me bringing the fact that I received a retaliatory, unlawful ticket from Officer Kenneth Baker, a known brutal police officer. Check him out on 50-a.org, batch number 5651. I bring forth the truth of what happened to me, and he was incredibly aggressive, tried to intimidate me. I wouldn't take that. He didn't like that I wouldn't take that. Gave me a retaliatory ticket, and the mayor of Cold Spring, New York, and the village board have never acknowledged any of the facts that I brought to them about my complaint and about Officer Kenneth Baker's past and his present. They've ignored it all, attempted to vilify me, just like they did with this gentleman here, Anthony. Make sure to share this, like this, comment on this, get the word out. And if anyone knows Anthony personally, if they can connect me with him directly, I would like to interview him as soon as possible and show him as a shining light of a person who has the courage to do the right thing regardless of the consequences. I appreciate you. I'm Leroy Truth for Leroy Truth Investigations.